Sweet home Alabama. Welcome back to Blunt Force Politics. I'm Dirty South Josh, that dip spitting redneck down in the backwoods of Mississippi. Coming at you raw and real, talking about something that hits close to home for me and millions of others is going to jump right into my monologue. It's the sudden vicious war on cannabis and hemp products that happens to coincide with alcohol sales that are dropping faster than a drunk at last call. Let's get some facts straight first. Alcohol has ruled the roost forever, but Americans are done with the hangovers and the wreckage. 2024 saw total booze sales barely scrape positive growth under 1% to about $113 billion. Beer down almost 3%, wine down 4 to 5%, and spirits taking hits. Almost half of us, 49%, say we're drinking less in 2025. Young people, especially, are walking away. What are they turning to? Well, cannabis. In legal states, alcohol sales drop 12 to 15% or more when people can choose a joint over a fifth. Studies show folks cut their drinking by 20 to 60% when they switch. And big alcohol is terrified. Their lobbyists are all over D.C. and they're just scored a huge win. Last month, in November, Trump signed that funding bill that had a little rider attached to the guts of the hemp industry. Starting November 12, 2026, most THCA flower, Delta 8, Delta 10, and any intoxicating hemp products become federally illegal. They're changing the definition of hemp to include total THC, banning anything synthesized, and capping finished products at basically nothing. It's not about public health. It's about protecting profits for an industry that kills 2.6 million people per year worldwide and is directly linked to cancer, violence, and wrecked lives. Cannabis? Zero overdose deaths ever. And now we're hearing the same old medical cannabis doesn't work talking points. I hear it from freaking Mark Siegel over there on Fox News all the time. Getting amplified. Yeah, some studies do show evidence is mixed for certain conditions. Science is gonna science. But for severe nausea, vomiting, appetite stimulation, and people who can literally can't keep food down, the evidence is overwhelming. FDA-approved drugs like Marinol and Syndros are literally synthetic THC for exactly that. Which brings me to the part that's personal. I got severe gastroparesis. My stomach basically said, F you, and stopped working right. I got chronic nausea, I puke every day, and I got wasting syndrome on top of it. I was dropping weight fast as ever. I couldn't eat, doctors threw everything at it. Some of the medications damn near killed me and never helped. Well, nothing worked. Nothing stuck. 20 surgeries later, I jumped on medical weed. Stops the nausea cold. Kills the urge to vomit. Actually lets me eat a real meal again. Put enough weight on to function. And I live. That's not hype. That's not bogus science. That's my daily reality. And the reality of countless others fighting the same battle. When you got places like Big Alcohol and their paid-for politicians move to ban the one thing that works for people like me, all while their own poison stays on every shelf, it's not about safety, it's about money and control. They want you hooked on their tax-regulated product because the market spoke, and they're losing. MAGA is supposed to mean freedom, personal responsibility, getting government out of your life and your body. Let grown adults decide what helps them function without wrecking their health or anyone else's. That's the blunt truth right now. I'm a little pissed off with Trump for signing that crap. It's not right. It's not good. And let's just hope. We've got a year. Let's see something else change. We got to see something change on that. Oh, this is the live version of the podcast. I don't have no clips to share with y'all. I don't really feel like clips today. Go through the top stories over the last few days. If you guys haven't been paying attention to the news, I know a lot of people out there don't really follow it all that much past the headline. Well, Rob Reiner and his wife were found dead. Got their son Nick arrested for the murder and charged with it. January 7th, we'll find out more about that. Not sure exactly what all happened, but Rob and his wife Michelle were found stabbed in their Brentwood home December 14th. Son Nick Reiner, with a history of addiction, arrest, and booked for murder. He's held on a $4 million bail. Later on, he received no bail. Bodies were discovered by the family. It seems to be an apparent homicide. And the death penalty is not off the table at this point, according to the DA. Trump had blasted Reiner's death as Trump derangement syndrome for provoking anger leading to the deaths even after son's arrest. Doubled down and remarked he was a deranged person. The bipartisan backlash, MTG, we love that little piece of work, called it a family tragedy, not politics. Libs and some GOP slammed it as tasteless. I say, why should the guy have to mourn somebody's death who just a year previously said he hopes to wake up to reading Trump's obituary? The irony is on the other foot there, Rob. RFK Jr. has announced a federal ban on gender-affirming care for minors. I watched the announcement on that actually today. I can't stand RFK's voice problem because with my hearing issues, I can't understand what the hell he's saying. Going to be hospital funding cuts, and you're going to criminalize that kind of care. Left is calling it bigotry. As always, I call it common sense. Trump also approved a record $11 billion arms sale to Taiwan. Howitzers, missiles, drones, the biggest ever. China's furious and calls it escalation. Taiwan is grateful for the deterrence. Outpaces Biden's sales, and the hawks love it amid the trade tensions. The Epstein files release deadline looms. It's supposed to be tomorrow. Attorney General Pam Bondi overseeing Congress-mandated drop. Of course, it's redacted for the victims and anything classified. Speculation is high on big names. Trump pushed transparency, and the skeptics doubt full reveal due to ongoing probes and redactions. Well, it just remains to be seen. I don't like to be supposing stuff too much. I don't like supposition. Got 3 Americans killed in an ISIS ambush in Syria. Trump's vowing retaliation. A lone ISIS gunman ambushed U.S. Syrian patrol near Palmyra. 2 soldiers and a civilian interpreter were killed. Others were wounded. The first U.S. fatalities post-Assad fall. Trump said very serious retaliation. Blames lingering ISIS pockets. In other news, Israel legalizes 19 West Bank outposts. Cabinet approved formal status for 19 settlements, some deep in territory, including revived 2005 evacuations. Driven by far-right ministers, Palestinians, UN condemned as annexation, the biggest expansion push, causing selective outrage fodder from all over. Belarus frees 123 political prisoners after the U.S. lifts potash sanctions. Part of 123, including Nobel winner Alice something. In Trump-brokered deal, U.S. eased sanctions. More releases are possible. And the thaw continues. The opposition thanks Trump, but urges EU to put the pressure on. And in our drug boat news, the U.S. Navy strikes sink 3 drug smuggling boats in the Pacific. 8 are dead. The latest in escalating campaign. Airstrikes on 3 vessels killed 8 narco-terrorists, part of 25-plus attacks 95 plus dead total. Congressional scrutiny over legality. No armed conflict declaration yet. I expect that to come. And I fully support taking out Maduro. Gotta do it. In other news, a private jet crashed near a soccer field in Mexico. 10 are dead, 3 were children. It was a jet from Acapulco to Toluca. Emergency landed on field, but hit a warehouse and bursted into flames. All 10 aboard were killed. There were no deaths on the ground, but the fuel storage sparked and ignited the plane. The IMF approved a $1.2 billion tranche for Pakistan. The board cleared $1 billion. That's a total of 3.3 dispersed. And that's pretty much my heavy hitters. This was just the little brief short. Don't have the whole kit and caboodle tonight. So we'll catch you guys for a full show when I have some more.